Before we talk about the Boston Celtics, the Golden State Warriors bought their way into the draft. They paid $3.5 million to the Chicago Bulls so that they could draft Jordan Bell, a forward rim protector from Oregon. Now, you know LeBron James, he's probably mad that the Cavs aren't making similar moves. How are the Warriors, the champs, able to participate, get some young talent? But back to the Boston Celtics. Danny Ainge is back at it. He's suggesting that because they have all these draft picks that teams are asking for too much. And this is the excuse that Danny Ainge gives every year when they're not able to get any players. In the last 5 years, the Celtics have had something like 18 draft picks. And this lineup that they have right now is all they have to show for it. But he's been exposed because Jimmy Butler, we all saw that trade. It was a terrible trade. The Bulls only got 3 players back. One of them was from the draft. One of them is coming off an injury. And the other one did not have a very good rookie season. The Jimmy Butler trade was so bad that his trainer, Travell Gaines, he went on Twitter after the trade and he said this: 0-82. Worst culture in the league. I met drug dealers with better morals than their GM. He is a liar and everyone knows. The Chicago Bulls got ripped. How could the Celtics allow the Bulls to get ripped by somebody else? How come they didn't go in there and rip them? Even if they don't rip them, even if you give them the 3rd pick, you give them 2 players, even if you give them 2 draft picks, 2 players, you're getting Jimmy Butler. A guy that can make a game winner. He can create his own shot. He can defend almost any star player in the league. And he's got 2 years on his contract. 2 years to convince him to stay. 2 years to go into free agency, get another star to add to the mix. Why would you be chasing Paul George? But get this, now the Celtics have a new strategy for getting Paul George. But first, they have to convince Gordon Hayward to join the team. So if they can get him in free agency, then they're going to try to trade for Paul George, but only if Paul George will sign a 3-year extension. Come on, cuz. Paul George has already made it known he wants to be a free agent. He wants to test the market, and he prefers the Lakers. So there's not going to be this 3-year extension. That's not going to happen. And then that doesn't even make sense. Gordon Hayward is a small forward and so is Paul George. So why would you be chasing both of them? Paul George doesn't want to play power forward. Hayward doesn't want to play power forward. Are you going to try to play one of them at shooting guard? That doesn't really make much sense. The Celtics, I don't know what they're doing. It's almost like they're saying, you know what? We're giving up on Paul George. They're just giving us another excuse. But the funny thing is, Hayward might just stay in Utah. Because for him, I think it's mostly about the money. If you remember the last time he was a free agent, he was a restricted free agent, but he signed to go with the Charlotte Hornets because they offered him the max. So then Utah just matched that offer. They kept him there. The Jazz are going to offer him the bag. They're going to offer him the max. They can offer him more money than any other team. And the Jazz were in the playoffs. It's not like they're a bad team. So I don't even know if he's going to leave the Jazz. And even if he does, I don't think the Celtics are the first team on his list. This strategy from the Celtics, it really doesn't make much sense right now if they're never going to pull the trigger and actually trade something of value to get something of value. They missed out on Jimmy Butler. Porzingis was an excuse. There's rumors that they're going to go for Anthony Davis, but they're probably going to make another excuse as to why they can't give up enough for Anthony Davis, even though they got all these draft picks. I hope I'm wrong. I would like to see the Celtics pull the trigger, get somebody, make a blockbuster trade, do something crazy. I would love to see it, but I keep hearing the same excuses season after season after season. They keep getting more draft picks, but will they use them? Let me know in the comments section if you think this new strategy from the Celtics is going to work. Will they finally land a key player? Oh, I got into a fight with a hippo in this game. I let those 5 arrows fly. Get down to the ground. The hippo had no choice but to sleep. I'm not allowed to show you the map of this game, but it is massive. You can explore the mysteries of ancient Egypt.